All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops at Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect on the highways ahead, just pushing the truth. It's your brother Rabbi Knapp coming out with a lesson, Lord's will is edifying. Now, I came out a little early today, but I'm going to get this work done and keep it moving, man. Okay, if you don't know, we're the Israelites, and we come out and we try to wake up so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to the truth of the Bible, because the Bible prophesies that this place that you live in called America is going to be destroyed by thermonuclear missiles. So we come out, try to warn the flock, according to Ezekiel, the 2nd chapter, and Lord's will, you wake up, because it's not, the Lord don't want you to get put to death, man. He wants you to repent, come back to him. But what you learn about the Israelites is that they're a hard-headed and stiff-necked people, man. They're not going to listen to the words, man. And unfortunately, just like in past times, man, they're going to be destroyed. All right? I'm going to start in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2. And it says, chapter 2, and I'll start at 11. Have a nation change their gods, which are yet no gods? Will my people have changed their glory for that which doth not profit? Exactly. They changed their glory for that which doth not profit. Okay? When we were worshiping Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, or Yahweh, he brought us out of our the situations that we were in, especially when we were in Egypt. Okay? He brought us out of there, but we stopped worshiping Yahweh, okay? That profited us to get us out of the state that we were in. When he opened up the Red Sea and destroyed Pharaoh, there was a profit to us, man. There was a triumph there. There was a glory there. But now we serve these other nations' gods who are no gods, okay? So there's no profit that's going to come out of serving them. Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 12. Be astonished, O ye heavens, at this, and be horribly afraid. Be ye very desolate, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. You're going to be, that's what's going to happen to you, man. You should be afraid, okay? Because destruction's coming, but you're in the mindset that ain't nothing gonna happen. That's the worst type of mindset you should be in these last days, man. Seeing what's going on in the world. As a matter of fact, Israel's burning down. There was a fire over there. You got India and Pakistan going to war with each other. You got judges in different parts of the country harboring so-called terrorists, man. The Tren de Agua, okay? You got your own fellow Israelites trying to make some type of covenant with the heathen or the Islam, okay? If they can't receive this truth, it's just not for them. There's no point of mixing the clay, the wood and the stone, man. Okay? Deuteronomy chapter 28. And Deuteronomy 28 and verse 64. And the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua shall scatter thee among all people from the end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. And that's why you see IUIC in the nation of Islam coming together. Okay, so they can manifest Esau's will on the left-hand side. Now, this is all prophecy. It's all good that he does these things. But these agents that are within your camps, they're going to start poking their head out, rearing their ugly head up soon, man, and getting you involved in shit that you didn't think this ministry was about. You don't see it coming, though. Okay, you can't tell because you're not measuring the times. You're not diligently seeking the Lord. You're doing this for vanity. You're doing this for men, to please men. You're doing this for all the wrong reasons. Are you actually trying to seek salvation? Are you actually trying to get to the destination? Or are you just down here fooling around? The Lord knows, man. Okay? Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 13. For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water. Yeah, a cistern it's used to hold water, man. But you hewed your selves broken cisterns that can hold no water, man. You're just like that old wine bottle, man. Okay, you can't get this wine because it's gonna burst you, man. And that's what we're doing. We're giving this wine, man, and you can't obtain it. You're like a broken cistern. You leaking out. You leaking water. You can't hold no knowledge. That's why you have no knowledge. You have no wisdom. You can't measure up the times diligently, man. You can't see what's going on in the world and how that applies to you. Israel's so far away from your mind that you're not moving in the haste you're not moving with the fear of the Lord. Okay, that's what you need in these days. The fear of the Lord. All right. Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 13. O Lord Yahweh, the hope of Israel, all that forsake thee shall be ashamed, and they that depart from me shall be written in the earth, because they have forsaken the Lord Yahweh, the fountains of living waters. Exactly, man. That's where it begins, man. You got to start with the name. But you've forsaken him. So you're going to be ultimately you're going to be forsaken. Jeremiah 14 and 8. Oh, the hope of Israel, the Savior thereof in time of trouble. Why shouldest thou be as a stranger in the land, and as a wayfaring man that turneth aside to tarry for a night? Yeah. Why you like a wayfaring man? Someone that's just traveling through, man. Okay, why you ain't dwelling with us? It's because of your sins, man. He's dwelling with the elect of Israel. But a lot of us, before we came into this, we had to repent. And that's what this calling out is for. Okay? Jeremiah chapter 18. In verse number 14, will a man leave the snow of Lebanon which cometh from the rock of the field, or shall the cold flowing waters that come from another place be forsaken? I got to look into that. Jeremiah 18 and 14. That's the precept for that. Let's look into that, man. And this is what you should be using the internet for, man, so you can fill up your cup. Because soon these videos, man, it's gonna be non-existent. You're gonna have what you call the famine of the word, and you ain't gonna be able to put out no videos, man. You ain't gonna be able to go warn everybody about the incoming judgment. Okay? Let me get this. You know, our apostles and elders gave us the tools we need, and you gotta use them. It says the verse contrasts the steadfastness, Jeremiah 18 and 14, of natural elements with the Israelites' forgetfulness and unfaithfulness to the Most High. It highlights the folly of abandoning a reliable source of life, which is the Most High, for something unreliable, idols. Let's read that again. Jeremiah 18 and verse 14. Will a man leave the snow of Lebanon, which cometh forth from the rock of the field, or shall the cold flowing waters that come from another place be forsaken? Exactly, man. It's a parable, man. Are you going to leave something that you can rely on to nourish you and give you life for something that is unsure, like an idol? And that's what you people do. You forsaken the living waters, okay? The snow of Lebanon for some other resource that's going to lead you. It's contaminated, okay? The scriptures tell you in Proverbs, Esau contaminated the waters, man. All these different doctrines, he has put his nasty red Hebrew Edomite hands in it. All right? And that's why he's trying to stir something up so we can pass these laws to put y'all get y'all locked up. Put you in derision. All right? And you need the Lord to protect you in these last days. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 5. In verse 15, it says, drink waters out of thine own cistern, and running waters out of thine own well. Exactly, man. You got to drink it out of your own well, from your own people. Okay? Can't be trusting the heathen to teach you what you need to know in these last days. You're going to trust your enemy to give you intel on how... Come on, man. Make it make sense. Now you got to trust in the Lord. He said this from the beginning. Okay? Let me grab that as a matter of fact. He said, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. My counsel shall stand. What's that? Deuteronomy? Nope. Isaiah 46 and 10. Declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done. Saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. Okay? And it's going to be a pleasurable thing to recompense trouble to your enemies, man. Let me get that. It's a righteous thing to recompense. It's that 1 Thessalonians, 2 Thessalonians 1 and 6. Let's grab that. 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. And that's what he's bringing, man. He's bringing the nations together to destroy them, man. Every country you go to, man, there's some type of skirmish going on with all of its enchantments to get you off of the things that he's doing pretty much right in front of your face, man. Implementing the MOTB, okay? He's trying to get you to go astray, forsake your power, trust in his way of life. But that's going to lead you to destruction. That's you drinking out of his cisterns, okay? And you don't want to be drinking out of this devil's cisterns in these last days, man. Especially when this is our blessing, okay? That we have here. It's our blessing, all the corn of wine to sustain us. Esau's blessing was the sword, and this is our sword, man. So get to know it. Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 14. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? Yeah, why are you spoiled, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans? And not spoiled in a good way. Why don't you have anything, man? Why you don't own anything? Why are you still renting? Why you don't own a business somewhere? Why is it like that? Why are you in the ghettos and all of that? Why are these things happening to your people? Why are you being raided by ICE agents? Why is it like that? Are you a servant? Are you a homeborn slave? Well, you don't have any land. Why are you paying taxes to Esau? You ever ask yourself that question? Who told you were a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American? You don't ask these questions, man, because you lack water. You lack wisdom. You drinking the waters of somewhere else. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 4. I'll start at 18. And Moses went and returned to Jethro, his father, and the father-in-law, and said unto him, Let me go, I pray thee, and return unto my brethren which are in Egypt, and see whether they be yet alive. And Jethro said to Moses, Go in peace. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Moses in Midian, Go return into Egypt, for all the men are dead which sought thy life. And Moses took his wife and his sons, and led him on an ass, and he returned to the land of Egypt. And Moses took the rod of God in his hand, and said, and the Lord Yahweh said unto Moses, When thou goest to return into Egypt, see that thou do all those wonders before Pharaoh, which I have put in thine hand. But I will harden his heart, that he shall not let the people go. And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. And I say unto thee, Let my son go, that he may serve me. And if thou refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay thy son, even thy firstborn. That's what he did, man. And that's what Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to do again. He's going to start destroying these Egyptians, man. Okay? And that's why he raised up the prophet, Moses, to go tell Pharaoh such. And we telling Pharaoh right now by rebuking him in the gates, by bringing out these prophecies, by having an understanding. It all starts with the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua for you to come into the true understanding of the Bible. True understanding of who you are, okay? And that's what he did, man. He started sending them plagues, and them plagues are coming back, especially the famine, okay? It's gonna be the famine of the word, a famine, a literal famine, meaning a famine of bread, nothing to eat, okay? And we were starting to see that now, okay? There was something in the news that just passed with the California docks. Let me grab it. It says, the impacts of President Duck's tariff war have arrived at the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach, with two of the biggest drivers of the Southern California economy expecting a catastrophic downturn in the coming weeks, okay? A catastrophic downturn in the coming weeks with the goods you like, man. That's why when you watch the news, it's talking about Walmart, it's talking about Target. These are stores that you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans love to go and shop at, man. Well, guess what? If they have no goods coming in from them ports, how are they going to stock your shelves, man? You got to ask yourself that question. This is you go look it up for yourself. It says for the week beginning May 4th, which is next month, San Pedro Bay complex looks like it's going to have a 44% drop in vessel calls when you compare that year to year. Yeah, when you compare something year to year, you see the differences in the number. He's saying a 44%, that's 50% decline of the shit you got a year prior, okay? So that's going into the famine I'm talking about here, man. We all like to eat, right? But what's gonna sustain you in these last days, man, is this word, man. But you ain't filling up your cup, all right? It says, Port of Long Beach CEO Mario Cordero said, that's a significant number. That's very significant. 44% less than the previous year. Think about last year, how well the shelves were stocked, man. You can go in there, get your bread, eggs, all of that. Well, guess what? There ain't gonna be none of that, man. It says the ports rely heavily on imported goods arriving from China, okay? China. And they're gonna keep going to war with this devil, man. He's the Lord's washpot, man. He's stirring up the pot with Esau, man. And Esau think he's gonna win. His heart is hardened, man. And we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see who's gonna win that battle. Okay? It says, which President Duck levied tariffs of up to 145% against. Yeah, so he levied tariffs up to 145% against Moab, man. Moab is the Chinese man in the Bible, and Esau is the so-called white man in the Bible, if you didn't know that. Okay? He's an Edomite. And you should read the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary and find out what the fate of the so-called white man is according to the Bible. That's why he lies so damn much. Okay? It says, I think that we're going to look to now in the second quarter of 2025 and also the third quarter, a substantial reduction in cargo volume. Yeah, we're going to see a substantial reduction in your cargo value, man. So all them goods, all that great value shit you get at Walmart, you ain't going to have it there anymore, man. All your pastas that got Teflon in it, and you ain't going to be able to eat that, okay? You ain't going to get your bleached white rice and your carcinogenic ice creams and shit like that. Okay? Cordero said, as you know, our imports here at the Port of Long Beach overwhelmingly come from Asia. More specifically, China. Okay? He's telling you. And then about a year ago, when Joe Biden was still in office, there was a protest about the automation at the ports. People were in an uproar about that. Remember when the bridge got knocked down? Then the protests? Well, guess what? They made a deal, but now we're starting to see that that issue's gonna be coming back up very soon. Okay? It says a new report from the LA County Economic Development Corporation laid out sobering new numbers detailing the impacts of President Duck's trade war. The report states that the tariffs threaten $500 billion in revenue for the region and put 2 million local workers at risk. Exactly, man. 2 million local workers are at risk, okay? No work for Egypt, man. All right? What are you gonna do to work? Let's grab a precept on that, man. This is all biblical, man. I'm not just reading out the news, man. It pertains to prophecy. Okay, let's grab that. Ecclesiastes chapter 10. And this is from King Solomon. In verse, what was Ecclesiastes? Hold on. I gotta go in the Apocrypha, man. You gotta know about the Apocrypha, man. It's not just the Old and the New Testament. Okay, you got to get into the Apocrypha. You got to know about Ecclesiasticus. These are the waters we're talking about. No, it's not that. What am I looking for? It's not that. I'll find it. Ecclesiastes, oh, it's 12, not 10. Salakia. Ecclesiastes 12. not sin. All right, you gotta know that, man. You gotta know ain't gonna be no work in Egypt. I gotta grab that too. Ecclesiastes 12, I start at the top. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Yeah, you want to get into this word as soon as possible. Get the understanding of these precepts as soon as possible before your destruction comes, man. Before the evil day comes, okay? When there's no food on the shelves and nowhere to work. Ecclesiastes 12 and 2, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few. Yeah, there's going to be grinding. You know how you grind, you go to work all the time, man. There's going to be few opportunities out there to work, to sustain yourself. Because of this loss of work, because of the different tariffs, the automation. Okay, that's going to be taking your jobs, like they were trying to do under the Biden administration. That's going to continue now. Okay, this is Esau Edom. He's just wearing a different mask, man. The red and the blue, they both Edomites. Okay. Ecclesiastes 12 and 3. And those that look out of the windows be darkened. Yeah, you're going to be looking out. The window's going to be darkened. You ain't going to see a future here in Babylon. We already looking out the windows darkened. But you don't see it. We're trying to show you there's no future here in Babylon, man. Your future's with the Lord, man. He got your life. Ecclesiastes 12 and 4, and the doors shall be shut in the streets. Yeah, the door is going to be shut in the streets when they don't have anything to sell. It's going to go from 44% all the way to nothing. There ain't going to be no food for Babylon. What are you going to eat in that time? You're going to be eating other people. You're going to be eating human meat. And Esau is already accustomed to eating you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Because he's a cannibal, okay? A murderer. A vile person. He's the wicked. All right? And he's doing a bunch of sacrifices this week because he's trying to set up a new pope so he can accuse you more so to the Lord so he can win more battles by putting y'all to death. And these different unrighteous decrees he's trying to put out in the near future. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 4, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. Exactly, you hear a lot of traffic going through. You hear cars hitting potholes in your road, right? There ain't gonna be none of that. Who's gonna be able to pay for oil? Where you gonna be going? They're gonna be blocking off the city. They're gonna be blocking off your water. They're gonna be telling you to get jab shots in the near future. Come get the RFID microchip to join this 15-minute city that I got set up for you. Because I'm here to save you. And you got the mindset to follow this damn devil into thinking he got the way, but he don't. This is the way. Walk ye in it. Ecclesiastes 12 and 4. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird. Yeah, you hear birds in the morning, normally don't hear them because you got all this noise. Well, they're going to be waking you up. All right, ain't going to be no noise in the morning, man. The grinders are going to cease. None of these roads are going to be fixed. Okay, no buses, no ambulances. No one's coming to save you. Just destruction. Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 4. And all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Exactly, all the daughters of music shall be brought low, man. We starting to see that already. Now that's also going into the music industry. And it's also going into the mirth of this place. It's also going into this shit being deteriorated, man. Ain't nothing to sing about. There's nothing hopeful to hear about. You can read out in the book of Isaiah, the 24th chapter. The mirth of this place is done, man. And eventually, one of these videos is going to come across, and you're going to get the word, man. Eventually, this word's going to hit you, man. This word's going to be flowing out more. All right? This is the book. This is to finish my article. It says the World Trade Organization estimated that if this trade war with China continues, they're expecting the U.S. and China trade to decrease by approximately 80%, man. 80%. Come on, man. That's unheard of. These are the type of things that's coming to pass. There was just an earthquake in Turkey again, 6.2 magnitude. Okay, there's gonna be more of that coming to pass. Okay. More destruction. LAEDC CEO Stephen Chang said, business leaders are concerned about a ripple effect that would harm the local economy. So that's the keepers being trembling, man. Okay? More so those keepers of the house are talking about these bankers, but it starts small, man. These other CEOs of these companies, the people who run your banking system all the way up to the elite. Okay? They're gonna be trembling, man. They're gonna be asking, why is Duck doing this? Ultimately it's the Lord. Because what he's trying to do is try to bring forth peace. But the Lord's making, there is no peace for the wicked, man. There's no peace for them. It says one thing that I think is anecdotal, but it's really recent, is that we've had multiple lease deals on industrial properties and in the Inland Empire and in the South Bay get paused. Developer Jeff Jettison said, yeah, he's a developer, okay? And he said these leases are getting paused. So no one's investing in this place, man. Investments are going low. It's being redlined. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans should understand this. Jennison also warned that with companies canceling warehouse leases could ultimately lead to more job cuts, as there wouldn't be a need for security, insurance, or even IT. So that's 3 jobs right there that they don't need. And he's a developer. If he don't have any leases, he don't need to build. What's he gonna do with his money? He might have to spend his money in a different something else. Okay? And it looks like gold is like another one of the things they want to invest in right now. But your gold and your silver is not gonna help you. Okay? It's not gonna help you, man. It says if indeed production moves to the US, prices will be higher too. Ooh, he said, the reason why is that for the items that are not produced in the US, the reason they're not produced in the US is because we can produce them as cheaply as other people can. Exactly, we can't do that. You guys ain't gonna work like the damn Chinese, man. They got a much greater labor force than you. And they're willing to do the dirty jobs you don't want to do. Put things together, work in shops, work together. They're not complaining, man. They understand the value of a dollar. They don't need big ass spaces and big, 800 square foot just so you can kick your feet up. They live a lot more frugal than you, okay? Moab got his system set up complete differently. But don't worry, Esau got a plan for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. In his mind, if he put your ass in jail, hey, he got a workforce right there. So we're gonna start locking y'all up. That's why you're starting to see y'all being called all type of terrorists and monsters and all type of beasts. Okay, so he needs to tame you. He needs to put you in a cage. Try to, what do you call it? Civilize you. Okay? And this is the vilest man in the world talking about he wants to civilize somebody, man. He's a fool. It says in the end, it says, if indeed production, it says in the end, Cordero said that the fewer cargo arriving at the ports results in fewer jobs and a crushing blow to Southern California's economy, okay? And there's more wildfires too coming, man. All right, you just had a wildfire in New Jersey. There's a wildfire in Israel. This place is burning, man. But don't worry, Bill Snakes he wants to put some shit in the air so it can block out the sun rays. Damn fool, man. It says the fundamental view from a port authority perspective is less cargo volume, less jobs. Very simple equation, man. Less jobs, less food, less resources, more crime, more murder, okay? It's the book of Matthew, 24. In verse number 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Yeah, look at that word cold, it goes into psycho, man. Look at the word psycho, it goes into being unstable. Because what are you going to do if you have nothing to eat? What are you going to do if you have nothing to drink? You're going to go crazy. You're going to go psycho. You're going to make decisions not according to knowledge. Okay? And this is what happens when you don't drink from your own cistern. Okay? And that's what's wrong with our people, man. Hey, Shalom King, Yabashim Yabashai Barakatah. Zaya Allah, Idaho, Shalom King. It says Jeremiah 19:8, and I will make this city desolate and a hissing. Everyone that passeth thereby shall be astonished and hiss because of all the plagues thereof. Exactly, man. And China most specifically is gonna do that. And I told you, man. You should have put 145% tariffs on bread, man. I would have been with you, man. I would have been able to help you. Okay? Exactly, man. These other countries gonna be seeing that. It's gonna be like a big embargo here, man. Just like what happened in Cuba. People start doing deals with them, right? But they were able to sustain themselves. They got used to being like that. Used to working with what they have, man. But you Americans, y'all don't got that type of mindset. Okay, you're gonna be going crazy. Let me grab this in Isaiah 33:6. Beautiful, man. Isaiah 33:6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. Exactly, man. You ain't gonna be thinking about the fear of the Lord. You don't even understand why these things are happening, even though they're clearly being said to you. We're making it plain upon tables. We're showing you these ports. That's a huge port in California, man. That's where a lot of your food goes, man. They're saying there's gonna be a reduction there. Don't you think that has an effect on your economy? Come on, do the math. He said less volume of cargo, less jobs, less food, less supplies, less resources, less stability, and you have no fear of the Lord. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. So you're going to be a fool and you're going to die. Long story short. Isaiah Allah, Idaho, Jeremiah 19:9. And I will cause them to eat the flesh of their sons and the flesh of their daughters. Exactly, man. And this happened before. This isn't anything new. These are part of the curses. Okay? So you eating the flesh of that's ugly, man. That's psychotic, man. That's unstable. All right? And they shall eat every one the flesh of his friend in the siege, in the straightness, wherewith their enemies and they that seek their lives shall straighten them. Exactly, man. Exactly. Death, eating your kids, man, eating your friends. That's gonna be your food, man. The people you see. You ever fast for 3 days, not drink eat or drink for anything, you're gonna see how it feels. Isaiah 9:19. Though the wrath of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua of hosts is the land darkened. Yeah, exactly. Through the wrath, man, is the land darkened. The Lord's angry with Babylon. And the people shall be as the fuel of the fire. No man shall spare his brother. Exactly, man. The people shall be as the fuel of the fire, man. No man shall spare his brother. Ultimately, it's the thermonuclear missiles that's going to burn this place up, man. And you going to be as the fuel. Because you're like wood, you're like hay, you're like stubble, man. Only the elect are going to make it through this fire, man. 2/3 of you going to be cut off and die. Isaiah 9:20. And he shall search on the right hand and be hungry. And he shall eat on the left hand, and they shall not be satisfied. Exactly, man. And they shall eat every man the flesh of his own arm. Exactly, man. You're going to be eating the flesh of your own arm, man. Imagine that. Okay? And that's what's coming to this place. So what's going to keep you stable is this word. Okay? Let me grab this in Matthew 4:4. The book of Matthew, chapter 4. Beautiful. In verse number 4, but he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Heavenly Father. But you don't know every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Heavenly Father, and you ain't filling up your cup. So we're going to see what's going to happen to you in these last days. Let me grab this in 2nd Ezra, chapter 6. Because that's what's going on, man. Ezra is talking. Isaiah is talking. The prophets are talking, man. 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 22. And suddenly the sown places, let me read that again. 2nd Ezra 6:22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. It's going to be sudden to you because you're not hearing the warning. Okay? You're not hearing about the ports. Okay? Maybe you are. But you're not doing the equation in your mind. Hold on. If this plus this equals no jobs and no food, how am I going to eat? You're not doing the equation right, man. Okay? Because you got Caesar Borgia in your mind thinking he's going to save you no matter what happens. And that's not the case, man. He's going to offer you an MOTB, a way out of this wickedness, which is order out of chaos, which really disorder is, and the Heavenly Father's going to put you to death for that. Okay? You want to be getting built up while you still can. Okay? What's that precept? No work for Egypt, man. No work for Egypt. No work for Egypt. What's that? Isaiah? Is it? No, is it Isaiah? I can't even think of it. Or it says no work in Egypt or something like that. I can't even find it, man. What the fuck? I mean, is it Isaiah 19? I can't even find it. I can't even find it. It's the book of Isaiah 24:10. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. Exactly, man. Every house is shut up that no man can come in. Okay? That's the fall of this place, man. And it's systematically, spiritually, it's just deteriorating, man. And he's building this place up, got you thinking this place is gonna last. It's not. 2nd Esdras 5:1, nevertheless, are coming as Salakia. 2nd Esdras 5:1, nevertheless, as coming the tokens, behold, the days shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. Exactly, man. Exactly. You're gonna be barren of faith. It's gonna be desolation, and people taken in a great number, man. Ooh, we can see that. We can see that, man. How's that gonna happen? Especially when there's no food, the numbers are gonna increase. Okay? A lot of these things are gonna increase, brothers. We gotta wake up. 2nd Esdras 5:2 from Isaiah Allah, Idaho. It says, but iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago. Exactly, that iniquity, man, is going to increase, man. They say Jacob's trouble is like nothing has ever been seen before. Let's grab that. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 30. Where you at, Jeremiah? This is what this is talking about. Jeremiah chapter 30. And in verse 6, ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Yeah, Jacob's trouble, man. Talking about the Israelites. The remnant, the elect, they're going to be saved out of it. All right? But the majority of you ain't going to make it. The book of Daniel, chapter 12. Let's try that, man. The book of Daniel, chapter 12. In verse 1, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time the people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. Exactly, everyone that shall be found written in the book. Everybody's not found written in the book, man. So who's going to be found written in the book? The elect, the servants, the prophets. Like he's been telling you, that nobody wants to listen to. Okay? Sad, man. But that's what the Lord's going to be doing with this place, man. Jake, you got to wake up. You got to wake up, man. It's time to fight the devil. He put Jeffrey Epstein, accuser of Virginia Groff, dies by suicide. So he's putting people to death. You got a bunch of enchantments going on in the world. You can't be mixed up with all that, man. You should be worrying about how am I going to eat? How am I going to get saved? You know, am I right with the Lord? Am I keeping his law, statutes, and commandments to the best of my ability? Because that's what it's about, man. It's all about what you're doing for the Lord, man, if he's dealing with you or not. Okay? As a matter of fact, I've been looking for that precept and I can't even find it. I can't even find it, man. So this is what you want to be doing, man. Okay? Salakia, let me find it. Famine, no jobs. So many precepts to get into. What else is going on in this place, man? I can't even barely think of the precept. I think it's in Isaiah. I don't know, man. Damn. What did he say? There's no work in Egypt or something like that. Something like that. I'll find it. The gospel's coming to this place, man. Let's see if I can find it. Nope. Isaiah 19. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 19. Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 15. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. Exactly, man. Damn, it took me a while to find it, but there ain't gonna be anything to do. There ain't gonna be anything to sell. You gonna have automation here for you for any little job that you can do. Uber jobs, there's gonna be a big influx into the gig economy, but then all that's gonna end. People gonna start having drones flying over, dropping off Amazon packages. Probably some plagues, so you can't even be around anybody anymore. People are literally gonna be dropping dead soon. Okay? It's the times we coming into. Famine of the word, civil war, the MOTB. Okay? As a matter of fact, let me grab that. Actually, let me grab my phone, man. This ain't cutting it. More protests. All of it, man. It's the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16. In verse 40, O my people, hear my word, make you ready to the battle. And in those evils, be even as pilgrims upon the earth. Yeah, you gonna be ready for that? Being a pilgrim upon the earth? Come on, man. Moving from city to city, trying to escape all the tribulations. That's what's coming, man. You gotta prepare your mind for this. 2nd Esdras 16 and 41. He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away, and he that buyeth as one that will lose. Exactly, man. He that buyeth is one that will lose, man. You don't want to have any attachments to anything carnal. 2nd Esdras chapter 16 and 42. He that occupieth merchandise, yeah, you got a store. You know, you own a bodega. You occupying merchandise, you selling shirts. All that shit's made in China. As he that had no profit by it. Yeah, he counted it as a loss. Okay? That you ain't gonna have, who's gonna have money to go buy your shirts, man? And you can't eat them. Okay? And he that buildeth as he that shall not dwell therein. Yeah, you building a house, be as though you not gonna dwell therein. All right? Scriptures tell you to be as a pilgrim within the earth, man. That's like a temporary resident here. You go into, you go rent a place for the night. That's what Babylon is. Okay? 2nd Esdras 16 and 43. He that soweth as if he should not reap. Yeah, you sow, you got a field, you own land. You got parsley and oregano and shit like that. Tomatoes you trying to grow. As if you're not gonna harvest that, man. You're not gonna be able to rely on that. You're not gonna be able to wait for the harvest so you can reap it. So also he that planted the vineyard as he that shall not gather the grapes. Exactly, man. You got a great vineyard, and you thinking you're gonna, oh, I can't wait for it to ripe so I can make some wine. Ain't gonna be none of that, man. You gotta be like a pilgrim. You gotta forsake all that shit. They that marry as they that shall get no children. Exactly, man. They that marry as they that get no children. Even if you have kids, man, this time's gonna be tough. You wanna be stable in the word, man. Because that instability, man, you might do something dirty to your children if you ain't right in this word, man. If you ain't right, period. All right? That might just be one of your snacks. Okay? And there was just a video of this woman. She drowned her daughter because she thought she was getting deported. She didn't want to go back to her country. Okay? So how much more when they see the windows are dark and she sees no future and she got 4 or 5 kids, you think she wants to see her kids suffer famine, pestilence, plagues? No. She's going to put them to death. All right? And you with her. You married to her. 2 Ezra 16 and 44. And they that marry not, as the widowers. Exactly, man. You're going to be like a widower. Okay? Marry not. If you don't have a wife, hey, just like Paul said, man, seek not to be loose. If you have one, seek not to be loose. If you don't have one, seek not to be with one. 2 Ezra 16 and 45. And therefore they that labor in vain. Exactly. It's all vanity. This place is going to be destroyed. Anything you labored for in Babylon, hey, those thermonuclear missiles are coming here to destroy it. So you just labored all that time in vain. I would have been laboring for the kingdom. Okay? Like it says in Matthew the 6th chapter. 2 Ezra 16 and 46. The strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses, and take their children captives. For in captivity and famine shall they get children. Exactly. That's what they're going to do in that time. They're going to get children, man. All right? They're not going to be worried about. Watch the movie Road. The Road. See how it is. That's exactly how it's going to be. Matthew 6 and 33. But seek ye first the kingdom of the heavenly Father and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Exactly. Food, shelter, clothes. You're going to be able to make it through these obstacles, man. Ultimately, you want to endure to the end when the Lord comes and redeems us, man. Gets us up out of here. Matthew 6 and 34. Take therefore no thought for the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. Exactly, man. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. So today, hey, glorify the Lord while you still can. The fact that you woke up, hey, the Lord, that's a blessing. A lot of people ain't waking up. People are dying every day. Just check the news. Okay? Revelation chapter 18 and verse 21. It says, and a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. Exactly, man. Thus with violence shall that great city Babylon shall be thrown down, man. Ultimately, the great millstone is these thermonuclear missiles, man. It's the end of all wars, man. This is it. Revelation 18 and 22. And the voice of harpers and musicians and of pipers and trumpeters shall be heard no more at all in thee. And no craftsman or whatsoever craft he be shall be found any more in thee. And the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee. Exactly. No grinding, no work, no musicians. The daughters of music is going to be brought low. Ultimately, when that noise comes, when that thermonuclear missile hits, and it's not just one, it's multiple. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. Exactly, that's talking about America. Okay? By that wine, man, he made everybody drink of the cup. But ultimately, it was the Lord. What's that? Jeremiah 51 and 7. Let me grab that. Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. That's why they're mad, man. That's why they preparing for war. That's why they want to go toe-to-toe with the terrorists. Okay? They want to go to war with this devil, man. Nobody's afraid of the so-called white man anymore. Okay? He's not getting any respect like he used to back in the day. Okay? And he should have never been given any respect, but the Lord did that in order to make him proud. Obadiah 1 and 2, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. This is talking about you, Esau. He made you small. You looking at that word small means insignificant. He made you small and insignificant amongst the heathen. Okay, and that's in smaller conversations all the way up to greater nations talking up against you. Now Moab's getting tired of you, man. Okay. The pride of thine heart had deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the cleft of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Exactly, the Lord's going to bring you down to the ground. Okay? And he's already slowly increasing the famine. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. So when Yahweh Shai returns, he's going to bring thee down, okay, to the ground. Utter destruction. Okay, this is the book of Isaiah 47. And 1, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Yeah, you're not no more going to be called tender and delicate. Okay? Isaiah 52 and 1, awake, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion, put on thy beautiful garments, O Jerusalem, the holy city, for henceforth there shall no more come in to thee the uncircumcised and the unclean. Exactly, man. Awake, awake, put on your strength, which is this knowledge, man. You need this knowledge on you in these last days or you're going to be destroyed. Shake thyself from the dust, arise, sit down, O Jerusalem. Loose thyself from the bands of thy neck, O captive daughter of Zion. Exactly, you sit down. Esau, there's no throne for you because only Israel is supposed to be ruled. Okay? And that's what's happening right now. There's a transition of power. Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. That's why you're starting to see us raise up. That's why you see us with our garments on, man. You know, physically, we're wearing like a symbolic form of sackcloth, but spiritually, hey, man, we're trying to be made right. Trying to be like that, those 5 wise virgins, waiting for the Lord, having our lamps filled with oil, not trying to run out. 2nd Esdras, chapter 6 and 7, then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Okay, so his fall is all rise. Okay, and this is what's going on as we start to wake up to the truth of the Bible. We're uncovering his lies. He's being more and more exposed. He's going to be closer to his destruction, and the closer we get to his destruction, the closer we get to our salvation. All right? It's 1 and 1. It's fair. It's even. That's how the Lord created his world. Sirach 33 in verse 13, as the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it as his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him to render to them as liketh him best. So the potter is the Lord, man. The clay is us. And he fashioned us the way he wanted it to happen. Good is set against evil and life against death. Exactly, man. It's one against another. Okay? So is the godly against the sinner and the sinner against the godly. Exactly, man. Equal and opposite. So look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are 2 and 2, one against another. Exactly. Esau, Edom, and Israel. Hey, we're one against another. All right? It is what it is. That's how the Lord created this battle, man. All right? So there's nothing to be ashamed about here, brothers and sisters of the faith. 2nd Ezra chapter 5 and verse 13. To show thee such tokens I have leave, and if thou wilt pray again and weep as now and fast 7 days, thou shalt hear yet greater things. Exactly, man. This is what you want to be doing. All right, let me grab that in the GNT actually. 2nd Ezra 5 and 13. 2nd Ezra 5:13 GNT. Okay. This shit says 2nd Ezra. Rather. 2nd Ezra 5 and 13 in the GNT. It says, these are the signs of the end that I am permitted to show you. But if you begin to pray again and continue to weep and fast for 7 more days, you will hear even greater things. Yeah, these are the signs, man. All right? These are the signs. This is just one of them, man. And this is what Ezra did, man. He had to fast to see even greater things. Book of Psalms, 146, and verse number 3. Put not your trust in princes, nor in the Son of Man, in whom there is no help. Yeah, don't trust man. Okay? It's not talking about the Lord, man. You don't put your trust in princes, man. Donald Duck's not going to save you. Okay? He's not going to save you, man. All right? The book of Job, chapter 5. Let's grab that. It's the book of Job, chapter 5. It's a lot. In verse 18, for he maketh sore and bindeth up, he woundeth, and his hands make whole. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7. There shall no evil touch thee. Exactly, man. 6 troubles is Jacob's trouble, and the 7th is those thermonuclear missiles. But if the Lord delivers you, there shall no evil touch thee. In famine, he shall redeem thee from death, and in war, from the power of the sword. Yeah, the only one that can do that is the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And the only one he's going to do that for are his elect. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. Exactly. You're going to be stable. You're going to have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You're going to be stable, man. You need it. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. Yeah, don't forget about the beasts of the earth, man. That's for judgment. Okay? That's all for judgment. Jeremiah 15:1. Then said the Lord Yahweh unto me, though Moses and Samuel stood before me, yet my mind could not be toward this people. Cast them out of my sight, and let them go forth. And it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Then thou shalt tell them, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, such as offer death to death, and such as offer the sword to the sword, and such as offer the famine to the famine, and such as offer the captivity to the captivity. Exactly, man. So there's different judgments that's going on. You might get locked up, put to death, might die from famine and pine away. You might die from the sword, which comes in a multitude of ways. Or you might just get, what else it says? Death to death, man. You might just get put to death, man. And I will appoint over them 4 kinds, saith the Lord Yahweh, the sword to slay, and the dogs to tear, and the fowls of the heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy. Exactly, man. All these different animals are created for vengeance, man. Lord God's spirit's created for vengeance. Okay, read that with Psalms 39, and Ecclesiasticus 39. Okay. Okay, this book of Job, chapter 19. No, Job 5 and 23. For thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. Yes, but you need that covering. You need that covering from the Lord in order for the beast to be at peace with thee, man. Genesis chapter 9. Verse 2. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered. Exactly, man. Into your hand are they delivered, man. You gotta put that spirit on you though. All right. Genesis 1, verse 28. And Elohim blessed them, and Elohim said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. Exactly, man. That's part of the spirit, man. He can give you the power to be in league with the creation, okay? And it can hide you. You could be at peace with the beasts of the earth, man. In a time when this devil's coming down like with great wrath on everybody, man. You're going to be in league with the rocks of the field, man. Okay? But that famine's coming, man. You got to be prepared for these things. The book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 6. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Exactly, man. You're going to be filled when you hunger after righteousness and thirst after, let me read that again, Matthew 5 and 6. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness. Exactly, man. You want to be hungering, you want to be hungering for thirst after righteousness. You want to be in these prophecies. You want to be keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability, man. Doing everything you can, man. Doing it all while everything's good. Go hard, man. Go hard. Go the hardest you ever. You can never go far enough. It ain't enough, man. Okay? The Lord will show you, man, all of this is nothing compared to what he's given us, man. So this is a small thing to the Lord, very small. And it's a small thing for him to save you, too. Luke 5 and 35, but the days will come when the bridegroom shall be taken away from them, and then shall they fast in those days. Yeah, the Lord's gone, man. Okay? The Lord's gone, man. But he's coming back. Okay? He's coming back, and that's what we're eagerly waiting for. All right? It's the book of Joel, chapter 2, and verse number 12. Therefore also now, saith the Lord, turn ye even to me with all your heart, and with fasting, and with weeping, and with mourning. Exactly, man. When's the last time you fasted? Okay, we got to afflict this flesh, man. Because there might be a time where we ain't going to have any food, man. All right? And the Lord is going to be, and hey, the Lord can send an angel just to touch you. He did that to Daniel in the 10th chapter. Let me read this one more. And rent your heart and not your garments, and turn unto the Lord your power, for he is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and great kindness, and repenteth him of the evil. Exactly, man. All right? Great kindness, man. He's a balanced power. Proverbs 11 and 1. All right? It says a false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. It's just as evil as he can send evils, he can send good things too. All right? It's not all destruction, man. There's a lot of salvation this time around, man. You got a lot of prophets on the scene right now giving this word out, watching all the time, posting, giving news. Okay? Sometimes you can just post some information, man. It's not all about sharing videos, man. So some of these people ain't gonna get it. They need to see it. You talk to people in the world, they are that ain't gonna happen. They're in a whole different type of vibration. All right? It's the book of 1 Kings. And this is the same thing that happened back then. 17 and 1. And Eliah the Tishbite, who was of the inhabitants of Gilead, said unto Ahab, as the Lord, power of Israel, liveth, before whom I stand, there shall not be dew nor rain these years, but according to my word. And the word of the Lord came unto him, saying, that's Elijah, Salakia. It's spelled wrong in my app. Get thee hence and turn thee eastward and hide thyself by the brook Cherith that is before Jordan. And it shall be that thou shalt drink of the brook, and I have commanded the ravens to feed thee there. So he went and did according unto the word of the Lord, for he went and dwelt by the brook Cherith that is before Jordan, and the ravens brought him bread and flesh in the morning, and bread and flesh in the evening, and he drank of the brook. And it came to pass after a while that the brook dried up, because there had been no rain in the land. But the Lord fed him with a raven, man. All right, so there's going to be some miracles out here. But this is why we do that work, because while you trying to get your 401k, this is the 401k for the service to prophets. Okay, Isaiah 65, verse number I start at 11. But ye are they that forsake the Lord. Yeah, you 2/3 Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Ye are they who forsake the Lord, man. That forget my holy mountain. Yeah, you forgot. You forgot about the Lord, man. The holy mountain's really talking about you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Because the holy mountains are talking about Jerusalem, man. But Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. That prepare a table for that troop. Exactly, you preparing a table for the troop. Okay? You trusting in Esau. Okay? Idols, idolatry. And that furnish the drink offering unto that number. Yeah, you furnishing drink offerings. You making your body a sacrifice to the beast. Trusting that damn devil. Isaiah 65 in verse 12. Therefore I will number, Salakia, therefore will I number you to the sword. Exactly, the sword is your destruction. I'm not numbering you to the sword for your pleasure. And ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. You all right? You're going to bow down to a slaughter. And this is a slaughterhouse. Plenty of ways for him to get your ass put to death. Because when I called, ye did not answer. Yeah, he's calling you now, and you're not answering. Okay? And that's the Lord using his prophets to call you. When I spake, ye did not hear. Exactly, you don't hear the words. So Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. So what else is he supposed to do with you? But did evil before my eyes. And his eyes are everywhere, man. He sees everything that you're doing. Okay, so there's no excuse. And did choose that wherein I delighted not. Yeah, you chose wherein he delighted not. Meaning you didn't keep the law, statutes, and commandments. You weren't trying to seek the Lord in this grace period. You weren't trying to be more righteous and hungering after righteousness and thirsting after righteousness, man. You wanted to continue to be wicked. Therefore, Isaiah 65 and 13, thus saith the Lord Yahweh. That's his name, man. That's the Most High. Behold, my servants shall eat. Yeah, his servants are those who serve his sheep, who feed his sheep, who feed the flock, who warn the people of the upcoming destruction. But ye shall be hungry. Yeah, if you don't serve the Lord, hey, you shall be hungry, man. You're gonna, all these ports in California and Walmart and Target, even Home Depot. A lot of those things made in China. Behold, my servants shall drink. You know, you drink water. You need water to live, man. It's all part of the you being alive. Okay? But ye shall be thirsty. Okay? You're gonna be thirsty. You ain't gonna have nothing to drink. You need water, man. You need food. You need to sustain yourself. You need clothes. Okay? Behold, my servants shall rejoice. Okay? But ye shall be ashamed. Okay? So just know that. When your ass is pining away from not getting anything to eat, hey, just know the Lord told you about these things. All right? Ecclesiasticus chapter 39, verse 28, there be spirits that are created for vengeance. Yeah, so these different dogs, these fowls of the air, these plagues, these storms, these calamities, these tribulations, these are spirits created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made him. So that's the spirits, man. However they're gonna deal with you is up to the Lord. But it said to appease him that made them. So if you got some psychopath running around with a damn AK-47 spraying indiscriminately at crowds of protesters, that's the Lord. If you got people eating up human flesh in their apartments like Jeffrey Dahmer, hey, that's the Lord. If you got plagues coming through and making you sick, making you bleed out your eyes and diarrhea till you die, hey, that's the Lord. He wanted to see you die that way. He wanted to give you some flesh-eating disease on you. It's all part of this, all spirits, man. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Fire, hail, famine, and death, man. Spirits created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts. You'll see them now. They're going to be out here. Just like in 2020 when that grinding started to cease, you started seeing more animals come in, man. And he already just created the dire wolf. I don't know if y'all heard about that. There was a dire wolf that he created. It looked small and beautiful, but a dire wolf's fucking big as fuck. All right? And they were just brought back from extinction. That's the Lord doing all these things. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions and serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. Yes, they're punishing the wicked to destruction. Okay? They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon the earth when need is, and when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. Exactly, just like you want to transgress the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Well, these spirits that are created for vengeance, they're not going to do that. Okay? They ain't going to do it. They're going to keep the commandments. They're going to rejoice in it. Okay? Going to show you, man, this place it's not time to be messing with the Lord. Okay? What you going to do in that time? Hey, Shalom, King. Shamayam Yabashim al-Shah Barakatah. Matthew 4:4. He said, but he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Heavenly Father. Exactly, man. Every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Heavenly Father. All right? And I'm going to end it on that. Lord's will, that was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachach, Quadash, Shalom, Abba, Babal, Kwam Yasharala. And Shalom, Kings, the water, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, Barakatham, to you and your family. And thank you for leaving these precepts. And brothers, keep pushing, man. Keep pushing the word. Shalom, y'all.